Hello and welcome to the Ridiculously Good VA Show with Tracey D'Aviero. If you are a virtual assistant or want to be one, this is the place to learn the tips and tricks you need to become a ridiculously good VA. I've been a part of the VA industry since 1998, and I'm excited to get to know you and help you build an amazing business. Let's go. Hey there, welcome to another episode of the podcast that teaches you how to be a ridiculously good virtual assistant. Today I want to talk about your website. Today's quote is from Paul Cookson. Your website is the window to your business. Keep it clean, clear, and open. Your website really is your online space to help people understand how you can help them with their business. Creating a clean, clear, and open one is the best way for you to make it work for you. Let's go. What are the website essentials for a virtual assistant? That's what we're going to talk about today. It's a little back to basics, I know, but it's a really, really important piece of your business. And so I wanted to do an episode on it to just talk about what is essential for you to have and what you really should be thinking about in all of the planning and all of the sort of execution or implementation of what you are putting out there. Whether you've just started your business and are just getting your website together, or if you've been around for a while and you just want to make some updates to yours, in this episode we're going to talk about what you need to focus on to make it work. It can feel overwhelming at any stage, right? It's a website. It's a huge thing. It's not a one and done, even though you seem to think it is. A lot of people do. But the key with your website is to make sure that it actually does what it's supposed to do. So many VAs either avoid building a website entirely, or they slap one together just to say they have one, or they spend ages trying to perfect it. There's really a huge spectrum out there, and you fall on it someplace, I'm sure. But here is the truth. Your website isn't just a business card. It is a trust builder. It is a lead qualifier. And if you do it right, it is a quiet salesperson that works 24/7 for you. It is the thing that will help your clients learn about you without you having to interact with them, right? Important. So I want to walk you through what your VA business website should actually include. No fluff, no filler, or anything like that. Just the essentials that'll help your visitors feel confident enough to take that next step with you, which is usually a discovery call. And of course, if you're not sure what your next step should be, that's what I help VAs do. I help them build strong, simple websites that speak directly to their ideal clients. We talk about marketing messages all the time. And of course, this is a really important place to perfect yours. And it does not have to be complicated. First thing you need is a clear and focused homepage. When somebody lands on your homepage, they should immediately know three things: who you help, what kind of support you offer, and how to take the next step. If you're trying to be all things to all people, your homepage is likely going to fall flat. Not going to be clear enough, right, to sort of grab somebody's attention. That first section above the fold, what people see before they scroll, is the golden area of any web page, to be quite honest. The term comes from the newspaper industry or the publishing industry. You think about what you see on the top half of a newspaper, like a full-size newspaper that is folded in half. That's the top half. That is the above the fold. You unfold it to see what's on the rest of the page, and that is the equivalent online of scrolling down. Your website's above the fold section needs to catch someone's attention. It's not the place to be clever. You want to be clear. So think something like, I help coaches and consultants stay organized and on track by handling their client onboarding, schedule, calendar, and communication. Super clear, right? We know who you help and what you do. This is what's called a positioning statement, and you want to keep it simple and front and center. That's the thing that will grab them. Oh, I am a coach, or oh, I am a consultant. Oh, help getting organized. That's great. Oh, onboarding, calendar, and communication. Those are the things that I need help with in my business. They're just triggers, right? So many VAs I see talk about themselves on their website. I don't want you to do this. They talk about being a VA, why you should hire a VA, how being a VA is so amazing. That is not what your website is for. That particular kind of messaging, honestly, is completely wrong. You have to appeal to your client. You have to talk to them. You can talk to one person if you can. The website in its entirety should be about them. Talk about them. Talk about their needs, but especially that first page, that home page. And you can, of course, tweak everything as your business grows or as you get more clear on what your service offerings are. But you have to start with something that is strong and specific. That's the most important part, is that being specific. Next, we have your about page. Your about page is not your life story. It shouldn't be. It's not your chance to dump your entire work history or explain why you're tired of corporate life and you started your business. This page is about why you're the right person to help support your ideal client. Of course, people want to know a bit about who you are, but what they're really looking for is trust. They're looking to build trust. Who are you? You're a real person. Do I like you? Right? They're thinking, can I count on this person? Does this feel like I can count on them? Do they understand my business? And do they seem reliable, friendly, professional? Insert other, descriptive words here. So you want to structure your about page with a bit of a warm opening that shows that you understand your client, you get them. A quick overview of your background that is relevant to the services you offer for them. You can include your values or your approach to working with clients and some personal details. Of course, you can talk about, tea, home renos, all the things that I love. You can definitely do that. It shows a little bit of personality. And sometimes people will hire someone who they feel kind of, a similar vibe with. And of course, importantly, you have to end with a call to action that directs them where to go next. I worked with a VA once who insisted that she didn't want to put any personal information about herself on her about page. And actually, she said it was her husband who said he didn't feel comfortable having her put it out there. But the good news is that she didn't have to. Your about page doesn't have to be about who you are and where you grew up and all of your, personal details. It should be relevant to what the site is for. Your website is for how you help your clients. It's totally okay to talk about your work experience and not your family if you don't want to. I'm okay with it, but a lot of people aren't. And so I don't want you to think about me needs to be, I grew up in Omaha and this is what I did. And I have, 7 brothers or whatever it is. You don't have to put any personal information in there if you don't want to. The about page is about how you have come to support the clients that you are supporting. And, sometimes that's a light bulb for the VAs that I work with. They're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Okay, that sounds great. But other VAs love to put their personality out there and they put it into their about page. You do whatever feels right for you. In either case, though, it is not a resume. Your website's not, and certainly your About Me page is not. Next, we have your services page, and it has to speak to their needs, not just the stuff you do. Too many VA service pages look like a menu, a list of tasks, admin, inbox management, calendar, Canva graphics. I call these laundry lists. I'm not actually sure where the term laundry list came from. I was going to tell you, but I was like, no, I don't really know. But I do use it all the time. You should not use a laundry list of services on your website. This is the time for you to frame the tasks that you offer as solutions for your clients. What is the outcome of the inbox management? We talk about features and benefits a lot in some of the trainings that I do, and that's where this comes in. What is the outcome of that inbox management? Less stress, faster client response time, improved professionalism, right? That's what they care about. They don't care about the tools you're using to do it or specifically how you do it. Clients want to know what you can do for them and how much it's going to cost them. Very, very important. That's what you're going to tell them in this. So here's how I suggest breaking it down. A brief introduction that reinforces who you help and what problems you help them with or that you solve. Categories of services like client care or content management with short outcome-focused descriptions. Not so much all the tasks, but what is the appeal of, outsourcing this particular task or category of services. You can include optional add-ons or specialties if you offer them. Your starting rate or your billable rate. I love packages starting at. That's what I always used to use on my website. Packages starting at $5.50 a month. And that gives the client, a little bit of an initial idea of what it's going to cost to work with you. And then, of course, that all important call to action, an inquiry form, call booking link, or something like that. And if you don't want to list your prices yet, that's okay, but give people an idea of what to expect. It's not so much for tire kickers, but sometimes what it does is it helps somebody over that first hurdle of, yes, that seems like it could be within my budget. I'd like to call them, right? And when you frame your services as things that your clients actually want or need help with, your website is going to do its job of marketing those services to them. If you just list all the things you know how to do, you make the client do all the work. Do I need that? What is that? Do I have to hire you for all of these things? Can I pick from this list? What's the most important thing? Oh my God, I didn't even know I needed that. You may have heard the expression, a confused mind says no. And when you just list everything you know how to do, the client can get confused. And you know what happens sometimes is then they move along to another VA who has taken the time to describe how they can specifically help that person, right? And why that's important for them. And remember, I can walk you through how to talk about your services in a way that sells the result and not just the tasks. That's what I'm here for. I'm a coach. I help you. That's one of the things that I help my coaching clients do all the time. Next, testimonials and social proof. Even if you're brand new, you can find ways to show proof of what you can do. Maybe it's a testimonial from a colleague, a client from a past job, or an old boss, or somebody you've helped in a volunteer role. I want you to really think about the things that you've done before and the people that you've helped, and that's where you sort of go for those initial testimonials and social proof. People just want to know that others trust you or have trusted you in the past. So you want to add 2 to 3 short testimonials on your homepage or your about page, any page in your sidebar, or whatever you want to do, and include things like client wins or little case studies on your services page. You can create a dedicated testimonials page if you want to, but you can just put them here and there as well. And of course, they're really good to use in your social media. Make sure these quotes speak to specific results and experience. She's amazing is nice, right? But it's not nearly as powerful as thanks to Tracey's onboarding support, I finally stopped missing my deadlines. Like, that just speaks volumes. It's super short, and it speaks volumes about how you helped somebody. And anybody who's looking for that type of support would build a little bit of trust with you right in that just single sentence. I actually used to provide a template for my clients to create testimonials for me because a lot of them don't really know what to write. And using a template just helped them be clear in what they were going to write down. And it helped me because I knew that I got the information that I needed, right, that I wanted to use on my website or in my marketing. So what did you help them with and how did it affect them is kind of what you're going for. It's really simple when you realize that. And social proof goes a very long way in building trust for those who are deciding whether or not to work with you. I say this all the time. I check reviews for everything. Anything that I'm buying, people that I want to work with, check their reviews and see what, reviews or testimonials or whatever, to see what others have said about them and see if it makes sense for you to work with them or to purchase that thing. Next is an easy booking page or a contact form. It seems kind of obvious for me to say this too, but I can't tell you how many VA sites I visit that make it really hard to get in touch with people. Your contact page should include a simple contact form, just name, email, and a short message box. What are they contacting you about? Or you can use the scheduling link if you prefer to go straight to booking a discovery call. I suggest having a contact form, not so much that booking link, unless you're confident, really confident that you can handle discovery calls very well. If you're still kind of struggling in that area, I would stick with the contact form until you can do a little bit of work on discovery calls. I'll do actually an episode. I think I'm going to do an episode on discovery calls next week. So not too long for you to wait. But suffice it to say that not all VAs do a good job of these. And so we want you to. That's why we're going to teach you how. But anyway, let them know what's going to happen after they fill out your form and reassure them that you're going to respond in whatever length of time, and then respond to them. Just collect the basics. Name and email address is usually enough just to start. It still makes people nervous to put their phone number in. I put my phone number in all the time, but I don't like it when people use that as my first point of contact, right? I would like them to respond via their contact form, their email address, because that's the way they've set it up. But anyway, you do what you do. And I've also seen contact forms with questionnaires about, what do you need and budget and that kind of thing. When you're getting started with anything like this, usually simple is best. And then you progress to those kinds of things, right? If you know that you're getting a lot of tire kickers and you need to vet them because you need to know what they need help with, or you need to know what their budget is or something like that, then you can add those things later on. But in the beginning, it's really good to keep it simple. And of course, if your form goes to your inbox, make sure that you're checking it and responding to it regularly. It took me a long time to start using a scheduling system, like a schedule. Calendly is what I'm using now. Time Trade is what I used for a very long time. But I've only ever used that booking link for my coaching business. I never actually used one for my VA business. I wasn't dealing with the same kind of volume of inquiries back then. And it was just easier to do a couple of emails back and forth to decide whether I even wanted to talk to someone, right? That putting in that little barrier sometimes help. Things do move faster, of course, now, but I would likely use a scheduler for clients if I was doing it all over again. But I just want to let you know that with the low volume of calls that I was taking, I really didn't think it was a necessary thing for me to put into my calendar, or into my budget, I mean. You decide what's right for you, and be sure to tune in next week, obviously, because we're going to talk about discovery calls. You want to look for a professional but a simple design. You don't have to be flashy. And I've said it all through this episode, and I'll continue to say it. Simple is better for mostly everything, but especially when you're getting started, you don't want there to be too much on, fancy things. You just want things to be really clear. Focus on clear fonts, a professional color scheme, anything appealing. If you like certain colors, there's color psychology, of course. Please don't use black. Don't use light lettering on black. It doesn't look good. It's hard to read. I just can't even go any further with that. I've seen so many black background websites that VAs use, and just please don't. Even any dark. Don't use any dark, but black seems to be black with gold on it. Just really tough to read. Wow, I'm spiraling. Don't let me spiral. Also, you want to use consistent branding. So pick your colors, pick your fonts, and use those strategically, right? Understand what you want your images to look like, and be really consistent with those as well. Use lots of white space. You don't have to fill every little bit. You can help people scroll through and see what it is, that you do in an easy to read way. And don't forget about mobile responsiveness. I think a lot of templates that are out there are mobile friendly now, but make sure that yours is. There's so many people on their phones that seeing something kind of out of order, or if it doesn't load properly, can be a real detriment. So it just basically needs to be easy to read, easy to navigate, and easy for them to take action. Those are the three things. Read about it, get around in it, and click here, I'm going to get in touch with you, right? And there's no shame in using templates like Wix or Squarespace or even WordPress. I'm a WordPress girl, but I understand that there are services that can help you get online really easily. And we want to make sure that that's what we're doing, is minimizing the amount of time that we're spending doing this. And you don't have to do your own website either, although some of these services make it really simple to just plug and play. They just pop in your copy, and then that's the end of that. And the content really is the most important thing. I help VAs with this kind of thing all the time. We look at your message, what your site should say, how to structure it, and design it in a way that supports what you want to put out there, your brand, your growth, and all that kind of thing. And actually, in my Getting Started as a VA Self-Study course, I walk through the essential pages that you need on your site and help you map out what you want them to look like and what copy you want on them. Those are the two main things. I highly recommend doing this offline. That's the way I teach you to do it in the self-study. Literally draw it out. I have template pages, right? Don't log in and drag and drop and design right there. It is super time consuming, and it's going to take you so much longer than if you go in with your pre-planned idea and just pull it together. It's you got to trust me on this one. I've done it. I've watched VAs spend days, weeks, months trying to design their own site. I have no problem, like I said, of you designing your own site, but the paper template plan is the way to make it most efficient for you. It's actually pretty quick and easy. And then the optional stuff, a blog or resources page. You don't have to start a blog right away, but if you do like writing or if you want to create content for your audience, a blog can help you share that expertise. It can help you improve your SEO, so traffic to your website, right? It can help you build trust with potential clients because a lot of us blog the way we talk, and so that can go a long way to getting people to understand you and know, like, and trust you, right? And it can also support your social media strategy. If you are directing traffic here and there, you can use your blog to anchor the things that you are talking about on social media. But blogging sometimes feels big. And if that's the case for you, if you're not quite ready, just consider a resources page. I loved my resource page on my website. I listed all the things that I used, like all the services that I used, and I joined the affiliate programs for those things to get referral bonuses and things like that. So it can be a sort of a twofold thing, but you want to be able to put like helpful tools, templates, even quick tips and stuff like that. It can be a real bonus to have something like that and be able to direct people to it. Make sure whatever you include is relevant to your target market and useful to the clients that you're trying to attract. If you're part of my monthly email membership, the Virtual Toolkit, you'll know we're all about simple tools and useful content. And that's the kind of stuff that people really like to pick up. And you can repurpose it and use it on your website. It really makes things helpful to be able to create that kind of thing. Stuff that clients ask you about all the time is something that you can use as a list builder or, just to build that trust again. So I happen to love blogging, and I know my blog got me lots of business as a VA. There were fewer of us doing it then, but I dedicated myself to doing an article a week for a really long time, and I'd still get most of my business through Google searches, and you can too if you put the effort in. But a resource page is really a great way to start. And the last one is privacy policy and the legal pages. Not terribly exciting, I know, but it's important. And you should at least have a privacy policy, especially if you're collecting emails or if you're using a contact form. We want to stay compliant, right? You should have a disclaimer if you're giving advice on a blog or a resources page, and terms and conditions if you're selling anything from your site, if people are purchasing something. So pretty simple stuff. There's lots of affordable template bundles around. I've got resources as well. I can point you to some stuff, or I've got my own things, and it just gives your visitors some peace of mind, but it also protects you as well so that you're clear in what is happening over the transactions that take place on your website. It's just a little professional addition that is pretty important for your business. Your VA website does not have to be a masterpiece. It's pretty easy to make them masterpieceful these days because of all the templates that are out there, but it does need to be purposeful. And I know I said masterpieceful. It's, we make up our words too. But every page should guide your visitor towards the next step, whether that's reading more, booking a call, or filling in your contact form. I used to just have my contact form on my contact page. That's where I thought it went because it's a contact form. But one of my business coaches actually told me that you never know where someone is going to land on your website. And I didn't even realize that. He was so right. Not everyone comes in through your homepage and then goes through the logical progression of what you think they do. They could be landing on a blog post. They could come in through your about page. They could come in through your resources page, right? And so you want to make sure that there's a way for people to contact you on every single page. So here's a quick summary of what we talked about. You need a clear homepage with a positioning statement. You need an about page that builds trust and connection. You need a services page focused on the outcomes that you provide to your clients or help your clients achieve. Testimonials or social proof. Contact page that makes taking action, meaning contacting you, very easy. You want a simple, clean design that is mobile, responsive. You can have an optional blogger resources page, and don't forget your privacy policy and your legal pages. If you're in a place where you're updating or building your website and you're not sure if it's doing what it should, I can help you with that. It's the only reason I'm here at all. Why? To help you become a ridiculously good virtual assistant. If you want to work with me or learn more about my coaching courses or membership programs, just visit yourvamentor.com/links, LINKS. That's where all my stuff is. You can start by connecting with me on your favorite social media platform. And you don't have to do all of this at once. You have to make sure that your site is working for you. So keeping it simple is important, but getting it done is the most important. And think of it as a marketing tool, not as a burden. When you get really clear on what you do, who you help, and why it's important for your clients to get your help, the website part is actually pretty easy. It's just there to tell them when you're not around. That's all I've got for you this week. I'm Tracey D'Aviero, the Confidence Coach for Virtual Assistants, and I'll see you next time.